Okay, so from the previous verses we've seen just basically how Cain just brought any kind, Abel brought the best. Abel's offering accepted by God, Cain's offering, because his heart wasn't, rejected by God. Cain's reaction to that is not to say, God, forgive me, I will go back and I will bring the best. Right? No, his reaction to that is anger. God, you're supposed to accept whatever I bring to you. I mean, really? You need to be thankful. Okay? You don't need to be like the Zelensky there in the White House kind of idea. You need to be thankful. Right? If a country is helping you in a war situation, right? You'd expect you sort of suck it up and say thank you. Okay? Well, seemingly he didn't. So that reaction, the same kind of reaction from Zelensky there in the White House, the same kind of reaction you get here from Cain, right? Not thank you, Mr. Vance, thank you, President Trump kind of idea, but starting shouting over them and whatever, right? Anger. Cain, angry at God. Okay, yeah. That makes kind of sense. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's wrong. Okay, so yeah, ultimately then the next step will happen. Right. Okay, so let's see verse 6. The Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? And why is your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Before I look at this, you sure can analyze this text a lot more, right? There's this concept of Cain on his own, okay, and it ends with Cain on its own. Then there's this idea of Cain and Abel bringing the offering, and later on Cain is going to meet up with Abel, right? So and then in the middle of it, God and Cain speaking. Okay, so now yeah, sure, it brought out this whole warning of God to Cain. It puts it in the middle of this whole story. So it is possible to analyze the text more. But if we're going to look at the number of times that one word is used and the other word is used and stuff like that, this will take me a couple of lifetimes to get through the whole Bible. So bear with me. I'm most likely, in most cases, kind of, except if it's a really important thing, kind of jump over it. Okay, so that you know. Okay, I want to stick more to the storytelling kind of idea than all the nitty-gritty of capturing everything. Okay, so angry. God asked him, so what's the reason why you're angry? I mean, it's like, it doesn't make sense, right? You're angry because you didn't care about what you brought to me, and therefore was I supposed to say, okay, here you come, and I'm human, and you bring me a nice steak to eat. Okay, yes, sure, that's great. I would love it. I mean, I would love it. I mean, if I'm vegan or something like that, then sure, I'm not going to like it, but I'm sure neither vegetarian or vegan. I would love it. Okay, maybe eating it with my teeth is not the best idea these days, I found out. But anyhow, but if you say bring poison to me, am I supposed to look you in the face and say, oh, thank you very much for the sashimi that you bought me? Kind of, I know it's going to kill me, but yeah, thank you. Okay, or maybe use a better example or a different example. Example the Baptist among us might not like. If you bring a bottle of wine that costs $300 or $3,000 or something like that, and the other guy brings just homemade brew, okay? And the homemade brew might give you alcohol poisoning, you die from it, like so many people in Siberia dies every year of. What am I supposed to do? Just say thank you and smile at you? No, I mean, I can't accept it. Now, that is if I'm human, right? But what if you are human and I'm your maker? Like, you belong to me, I made you, everything you have belongs, that you have comes from me. and now you bring me poison, or you don't care, and I just say, great, thank you, okay, thank you. No, no way, you're not going to do it. Okay, so no, God could not. I mean, what is God saying? If God just accepted, if your child just go to school and he does his homework and he does his homework, I don't know, I will just quickly, I'm too lazy, I'm not going to even try to solve these mathematical equations. I just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe one of them might be right, kind of idea. Or multiple with the first one, then A, then B, then C, then D, or just mark A everywhere, kind of idea. You know, if your child would write an exam like that, you're not going to accept it, right? You're going to be angry at your child. Okay, so sure, God is angry. I mean, if not, if you can't tell him that's good, you need to tell your child, no, you need to go and study so that you can do better, right? So God rejects it for his sake. So that he knows what he's doing, he needs to do it better, right? Not this way. But yeah, okay, so God did the right thing. Cain's anger, wrong. And therefore God asked him, so why are you angry? Okay? And then God tells him, right? If you do well, you will be accepted. So you do the right thing. Okay? If you're going to study hard, then yeah, your chance of achieving an A or 90%, something like that, GPA or whatever they call it, a 4 or something like that, right? You can achieve your goals if you work hard, but you're not accepting your brilliant. You're not just going to achieve it if you're just plain simple lazy, do nothing about it. Okay? So if you are going to give the right thing, like Abel did. Yeah, sure, here's an example. Abel did the right thing, the best thing. So he's accepted. He didn't care. I can't accept it. I'm doing a wrong to you if I'm going to do that. Yeah, if you don't ultimately do it, then you know, sin is crouching at the door. And here they explain like a demon outside the house, in front of the door, this house demon kind of lying there, trying to devour you, trying to devour people as you come in. Okay? So it's trying to destroy you. Right? Sin. So if you're not going to give them the best to me, sin is ultimately will get more and more in your life. And that's so very true, even today. Right? Like Jesus later on said, that which you have will be taken away from you. Okay? Because ultimately you need to work, right, on worshiping God. Okay? Because in the New Testament we know God prepared good works for us to do before the foundation of the world. So in other words, it doesn't lead to salvation, but this is deeds you do. Christians bear fruit. Now if there's no fruit, right, then that means you might claim to be a Christian, but you're not a Christian. And so then even then doing something might still help to keep some a little bit away, but you're not going to. Okay, and nothing is going, you guys are going to get worse and worse and worse, and sin will dominate your life more and more and more. And this is ultimately unluckily what is going to happen to Cain. He's not going to change. He's not going to say, God, forgive me, I will bring you the best, or I run off until I get the best. No. The last part of verse 7, as desire of it. It's contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Okay? Now understand, I can't remember, I've read verse 7. If you do well, you will be accepted. And if you do not do well, sin scratched at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Here is a lot in the story goes back to as well the story of Adam and Eve. Verse 7, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Now I already spoke quite a bit about the fact of sin and how sin even for us as Christians, right? So I'm not going to go over it. The last part of the verse that is important is the fact that the desire that's contrary to you. Okay? So there's a lot in the story of Adam and Eve that harkens back, points back towards chapter 3. Okay, so there God said that the woman's desire will be for the husband, but he will rule over her. Okay, now in this case, sin is there crushing. The sin's desire is then for man, to destroy man. Okay, but man must rule over the sin. So it ought to be contrary to this, right? So he, as us as man, need to rule over. The sin wants to destroy us, but we need to rule over it. Okay, so that is as well then pointing back to this attitude of between the war kind of between male and female. Okay, so yes, this as well points back to that and the whole story of, and we will see more of the same pointers in the story back to the story of Adam and Eve after eating the fruit.